Good evening, my dear fellow Toastmasters and guests. I welcome you all to meeting number 736. The mission of every Toastmaster club. Okay, what happened just now? Okay, so the mission of every Toastmaster club is to promote, is to provide supportive and a positive atmosphere for a member to develop their communication and leadership skills, resulting in increased confidence and personal growth. Before we start the meeting, there are 5 ground rules for everyone to follow. Number 1, please put your phones on silent mode or switch them off. I'm going to give you a couple of seconds to do that. Thank you, everyone. Second ground rule, please stay on mute unless you are invited to talk. The third ground rule is do not talk on taboo topics such as sex, religion, or politics. And the fourth and final ground rule is in case you want to send a message or ask a query, please feel free to use the Zoom chat box. So, without further ado, I would like to introduce to you all the presiding officer of the day. He is a person whose music quotient is very high, for he is a fan of Ilayaraja sir's music. And apart from that, he is an assistant manager at Sundaram Clayton. So now, let us put together our well-sanitized hands to welcome the presiding officer of the day, Toastmaster, our president, Toastmaster Guruval Gatwan. Over to you, Toastmaster Guruval Gatwan.
Hi, Abhilash. First of all, thank you for implementing the suggestions suggested by our keynote speaker, Senthil Kumar, for sanitizing your hand and asking people to clasp their hand, clap their hands with sanitized hands. So thank you for attempting that. First of all, I'd like to introduce all of you for the 736th meeting, and I declare 736th meeting open. Today, all the ExCom officers attended ExCom officers training program with the keynote session by our own DTM Senthil Kumar on influence without authority. So he talked about 4 key points: expertise, empathy, professional networking, and humor. How it helps in Toastmasters. Now coming to expertise, he spoke about when he started Toastmasters in India, South India in the late 90s, he had many difficulties in starting the club. So at that time, he sought the help of Toastmaster DTM JP Bhatnayak, who is an expert on the Toastmaster related things. He sought his help, and he always helped CK and his team members to start a club in Bangalore. So he said expertise always helps in hands. So he wants everyone to expertise in at least one field. He also talked about our own DTM Meena ma'am, how she helped for chartering clubs in Tamil Nadu, and how now the result is now Tamil Nadu has become a separate district. Now coming to expertise, how do we become expertise? When we practice. If we keep on practicing on a particular thing, or what goal, what we want to achieve, he will become expertise on that matter. So how it helps in Toastmaster? When you take up meeting roles like grammarian or counter or timer, even a small roles like that, it helps you when you repeatedly do these things. One day you will become expert on these matters. So on this note, I conclude. On this note, I introduce today's MC or T. I introduce TMOD for the day, Toastmaster Abhirami Ayyappan, who is working as a chartered accountant working in Barclays Bank. Now, handing over control to TMOD Abhirami. Abhirami, stage is yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster Guruvairappan, for the introduction. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. It gives me immense pleasure to be the Toastmaster of the day for this meeting. Last week was a very hectic week back at office. It was the mid-year for the evaluation, and self-evaluation is the most important aspect of the overall appraisal process. When I sat down for my own personal evaluation, I realized that I need to develop myself on overall aspects of life, a more holistic approach rather than any particular single aspect. And then the idea of quotients of life struck my head, and that became the theme of today. So now first, let me start with a question. What is a fair idea of the quotients of life? Would anybody like to answer?
EQ, EQ, SQ.
Yes, yes. So we will mostly be talking around the emotional quotients, the adversity quotient, and the various other quotients of life, which is very important. Mostly we are all aware of only one quotient, which is the intelligence quotient. Let me quickly share this screen for some slides that I put together. Hope my screen is visible. Okay, great. Okay. So my idea for quotients of life was intelligence quotient. If you take a closer look at the education system, there is more emphasis on getting a good score and landing a job. And what is this good score all about? We are going to read some formulas, some concepts, and there will be a situation. You apply them, write the answer, and you get the good marks. This is how it works. So more or less in this entire process of learning the formulae or the theory and applying it, it's your intelligence quotient that is being exercised. Now, for me, going back to my own personal life, my mom, she always used to tell me one secret mantra for success in life. Abhi, you study well, get a good score, then you will get a good job. This was the only thing that was repeated to me when I was in my high school. Following that very seriously, 4 years from 9th to 12th, and during my CA, I was very much stuck with my books. All through, I ensured that I studied. Of course, I landed in a job and I was successful according to my family. But for life beyond landing in a job, what do you need? Is it just the intelligence quotient? No. Maybe intelligence quotient will help you to start the race, but to run the marathon, there are more other quotients which are required. To just talk about the intelligence quotient, defining it, it is the measure of a person's logical reasoning ability and also their ability to recollect more of how well you're good at exercising your long-term and short-term memories. And this is all with the school aspects of life. Now, for the benefit of guests, before we jump into the next quotient, I will just take you at a high level through the agenda for today's meeting. We'll be starting with a gaming session, followed by evaluation team introduction by the general evaluator. Then we'll have the prepared speech segment, followed by the impromptu speech segment, which is the table topics. Then finally, we'll have the evaluation session, which will be an overall feedback on the role players' performance and the speeches given. Finally, we'll have the polling for the best speaker and the best role players, and the results will be announced. We'll have a closing address from the president. And finally, the guests will have a separate session, a high-level briefing of how Toastmasters works, and you can have your doubts clarified towards the end during that session. Now, taking a look at the first quotient beyond the intelligence quotient is the creativity quotient. Creativity quotient is a measure of a person's creative intelligence. Many times in office and also in college, we hear this term, think out of the box. All the while we are taught to stick to the formula, apply it, but then comes this aspect of thinking out of the box. Now, why is thinking out of the box or being creative very important? Now, take the case of even a Toastmaster speech. All the speeches, we are aware of everything, even these quotients, everyone is aware of it. But the way you deliver it, the creativity that you bring to the table is the key to selling an item to the audience. And also back in office, when you look at the artificial intelligence that is being implemented, there is a lot of changes. There is more of robotics and artificial intelligence that is implemented to replace the employees. One thing that we are good at compared to the robots is that we will be able to use the creativity quotient by which we will be able to identify new problems. But a robot will be able to only solve a predefined problem. With this, I would like to summarize that creativity is the key to unlock the future. Now let's move on to the first session, which is the creative session on the game of synonyms. Let me call upon Toastmaster Subhashri, who's a game master. She is a program analyst working with Cognizant. When I asked her what she does to unleash her creativity, she said she loves traveling and exploring, and that's on top of her list. Over to you, Toastmaster Subhashri.
Thank you, Abhirami. Can you hear me?
Yes, Toastmaster Subhashri.
Okay. Good evening, all. Now, as the game master, I'm going to make you all indulge in the activity of sprightliness. Let me first explain the rule of the game. First, a word will be shown with 3 options, and you have to find out which is the correct synonym of that word. Second rule is that anybody can answer, but only the first answer is accepted. Even if it goes wrong, no problem. I will tell you a clue. With that, everybody gets a second chance. Again, the first answer is accepted. Even if that goes wrong, I'll reveal the answer with its meaning. This is to avoid multiple answers at a time, okay? All ready?
Ready?
Yes.
Okay, let me share my screen. The first word, fortitude.
Courage.
Yes, sir, it is courage. Courage is the answer, meaning courage in pain or adversity. Okay, let's move on to the next word, indolent.
Lazy.
Lazy.
Oh my God, you're not giving me a chance to give a clue. Yeah, it is correct, lazy.
Lazy, yeah.
Wanting to avoid activity or exertion is the meaning. Okay, next word. Skirmish.
Conflict.
Yes, absolutely, conflict. A minor short-term fight. Okay, moving on to the next word. Felony.
Misdemeanor.
Exactly. Meaning a minor wrong to you. You can see a woman stealing the cat of another woman there in that GIF. Okay, next word. Hiatus.
Pause.
Exactly. A pause or break in continuity in a sequence or activity. Okay, next word. Accretion.
Accumulation.
Okay, I heard the word accumulation first.
Yeah.
So, yes, it is accumulation. Growth or increase by the gradual accumulation of additional layers or matter is the meaning. You can see the snow is getting accumulated in that GIF. Camaraderie.
Friendship.
Yes.
Friendship.
Yes, it is friendship. So we all know the meaning of friendship. So I'm going to the next word. Cajole.
Persuade.
Yes, it is persuade. Persuade to do something by sustained coaxing or flattery. Next word, gourmet.
Glutton. Government. Glutton.
Glutton.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is glutton. A person who enjoys eating and often eats too much is the glutton. And you can see the cat over there. Next word, impetuous.
Harmful.
No, it's not harmful. Okay, finally I got a chance to...
Hasty.
Okay. Hasty is the right answer. Okay. Meaning is acting or done quickly and without thought or care. So that is hasty. Okay, next word, munificent.
Generous.
Yes, it is generous. Meaning characterized by or displaying great generosity. That is generous. Next, that is munificent. Okay, next word. Onerous.
Burdensome.
Burdensome.
Yes. Burdensome. It is C. Option C, burdensome. Of a task involving a great deal of effort or difficulty. You can see the child how it is carrying the books, lots of load. Next. Torpid.
Lethargic.
Lethargic.
Yes, it is lethargic. Meaning mentally or physically inactive. You can see the boss baby over there. Okay, next word. Ubiquitous.
Omnipresent.
Yes, it is omnipresent. Meaning present, appearing, or found everywhere. That is the meaning. And next word. Virtuoso.
Prodigy.
Propitious.
No, it is prodigy. The first answer is right. It is prodigy. Meaning a person highly skilled in music or another artistic pursuit. You can see how the baby flipped the bottle on the cup. So it is so smart. Okay, that is the end of the game. Hope you all enjoyed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you all. Over to you, Abhirami.
Thank you, Toastmaster Subhashri. Okay, I'm back. Thank you, Toastmaster Subhashri. That was indeed a very fantastic game. I'm sure Toastmaster Subhashri exercised all her creative muscles to get that games on board. Now, taking a look at the next quotient. Have you ever wondered why some of our friends have a lot of friends? They're very good at networking. They just know when to say the right things in a crowd, and they have a very good conversational skills. They know how to lead a conversation. If all this is there, then what is the quotient that they are good at? Now, let's take a look at the next question. I'm sharing the screen. The social quotient is the next quotient. And why is it important to have good social skills in life? As a leader, everyone over here would have to influence their entire team. And to do that, they will need to build strong relationships and they will need to understand the social setting. And that will enable them to present themselves better with a crowd and also to build a bond. And if you ask me how I improved my social skills, I would say when we had our physical meetings, that time when we used to have this Bhaji Bonda session after the Toastmasters meeting, where we have time to network, understand, and improve. With that, let us move on to the next part of a session, which is the general evaluation introduction. Let me call upon the general evaluator, Toastmaster Jagadish. He is a purchase manager in Vetta's Window Technology Company. And when I asked him, how did the club help him in improving his social skills, he told me that joining the Toastmaster Club has improved his confidence and self-image. Over to you, Toastmaster Jagadish.
Thanks for the warm welcome, Toastmaster Abhirami. Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. I am one of the person who did not understand anything about the theme of the day or how to correlate with my life. Even when Toastmaster Abhirami asked me about my view on the theme, I said, you're welcome to tell whatever you want. So I'm not going to touch anything on the theme quotients of life. As a general evaluator, I am here to talk about the quotients of a meeting. From evaluation perspective, quotients are certain indicators about the orientation of a good speech or a meeting. Improving these quotients will have a definite success when you deliver a speech. I have two sets of team. They will help you in understanding the key indicators required for a good speech. Let me introduce my first team of the day, tag team, timer, counter, and grammarian. Today's timer role is being played by Toastmaster Aishwarya. She is also a VPPR of the current XCOM. She is an aspiring fashion designer and stylist who finished a dual degree. At present, she is a freelancer in designing and in styling for photo shoots. Toastmaster Aishwarya, could you please read out your project objectives?
Thank you, Toastmaster Jagdish, for the lovely introduction. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. And today I'll be playing the role of a timer. As a timer, I'll be responsible to track the timings of your speeches. So I'll be showing the green signal when you reach your minimum time, the yellow signal when you reach the intermediate time, and the red signal when you reach the maximum time. After which, a grace time of 30 seconds will be given to wrap up your speech. At the end of the meeting, when called upon by a general evaluator, I'll be presenting my report. Thank you, and over to the general evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Aishwarya. And today's counter role is being played by Toastmaster Abhilash. He is a chartered accountant working as a senior executive in a private firm. He always brings some innovation in the role, whatever he does. Let's see what he has for us today as counter. Toastmaster Abhilash, could you please read out your project objectives?
Thank you, General Evaluator. You know, they say generally in a Toastmasters meeting, the easiest or the safest role is that of the TT Master. But I beg to differ. There is one other role which is even more easier because it has the added bonus of not getting called for TT, and plus I will not be subject to any of the ahs, ums and ers because I'm going to be reporting to you today on them. Good evening, my dear fellow Toastmasters and guests. So I will be your R counter for today. As your R counter today, it is my duty to point out filler words and often repeated words that you use such as but, so, like, and various other words, and to present my report at the end of the meeting when called upon by the General Evaluator. That is it from me for now. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Abhilash. Would like to introduce grammarian for the day, Toastmaster Nagendra Bharati. He is a retired banker, techie, manager, aspiring to become a speaker, also writer in English and Tamil. Toastmaster Nagendra Bharati, could you please read out your project objectives?
Thank you, General Evaluator Toastmaster Jagadish. Long ago, so long ago, I bought a book. But only after getting nominated as grammarian, I opened that book last week. Can you guess the title of that book? Yes, it is High School Grammar and Composition. Now, as a grammarian, I have two responsibilities. The first one is to introduce the word of the day. Today, I am introducing the word sprightliness. It's a noun. Its adjective and adverb forms are sprightly. The meaning of the word is quality of being energetic. The example is there is a distinct sprightliness in the voice of the people with a higher creative quotient. So I have connected with the theme of the day as well. All our Toastmasters are, of course, sprightly people. So that's about the word of the day. I would request all the speakers, evaluators, and role players to use this word of the day and the theme of the day in their speech so that we can press that applaud button to encourage you. The second responsibility is to note down the good usage of English or not so good usage of English, and come out with a report with those details when the general evaluator calls me. Now I have the hook in my fishing rod. I am waiting to catch the good fishes, good usage of English. I hope with a lineup of great speakers and evaluators and role players, I will get a good bunch of fishes. Thank you. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nagendra Bharati. I have another set of team, that is speech evaluation team. We'll introduce them during the later part of the meeting. Over to you, TMOD.
Thank you, General Evaluator Toastmaster Jagadish. Looks like we have a strong evaluation team watching us to give us a meaningful feedback towards the end. Now, let's take a look at the next quotient. There's a lot of hype on stress management. People talk about the ways they follow to manage stress. There's a lot of awareness compared to earlier days. Now, what is stress management? Are we managing the external stress? No. We are managing our emotions or our response to stress. If someone is very good at managing their response to stress, it just means that they are very good at managing their own emotions. And that means they have a very high emotional quotient. So now let's look at the next quotient, which is the emotional quotient. Emotional quotient is a measure of a person's ability, it's a measure of a person's ability to recognize his or her emotions and to manage them to the best. Now, in practice, how do people practice emotional intelligence? First step is recognizing your own emotion. You are aware of how you feel. And secondly, you're able to manage your emotions. When you master these two, you will be aware of how others feel. And lastly, you will be able to connect with them better. Armed with the knowledge of emotional quotient, let's jump into the prepared speech segment. The first speaker for today is Toastmaster Murugesan. He is a businessman. When I asked him how he copes up with stress, he said very coolly that stress is like corona and I've got used to it. Before I hand over the stage to Toastmaster Murugesan, let me call upon his evaluator, Toastmaster Satish Babu, to read out his project objectives.
Good afternoon, everyone. Toastmaster Murugesan attempting icebreaker speech. His project objective is the purpose of this project for the member to introduce himself to the club and learn the basic structure of public speaking. All the best, Toastmaster Murugesan. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Satish Babu. Sorry. Yeah. Over to you, Toastmaster Murugesan. Avatar Toastmaster Murugesan.
Thank you, TMOD. I'm not going to talk about the movie called Avatar. Then what is an avatar? Generally speaking, an avatar is the embodiment of a person or idea. Generally, the avatar is clearly defined as a character. As a human being, we are taking many avatars in our life. We are keep changing these avatars periodically based on our own convenience. I'm also playing some avatars in my life. For example, as a kind son to my parents, as an affectionate father to my daughter, such a son, as a best friend to my colleagues, as a sincere employee to my boss, as an obedient husband to my wife. There are many more avatars to be taken, meaning Toastmasters and friends. Since I have told you, the avatar is a part of our life. My name is Murugesan. I am just 35 years old with 15 years experience in life. I love to be called Tamil Pariyan because I love my Tamil language. This is the day across the world the people will celebrate. This is the day all the corporates will declare holiday. This is the day all students will enjoy. Yes, I was born on December 28th during Christmas holiday. On the same day, the business leader, line owner, late Dhirubhai Ambani was also born on the same day. I was born with no silver spoon. I was born with golden spoon. Yes, my father was a goldsmith and my mother was a housewife. I have an elder sister. In my life, I took early avatar as a child. During the child age, I was not able to stand on my legs up to 5 years old. Then my grandma made me to stand by digging pit and continuous practice with that. I was able to stand. Now I am standing before you to share my few of my avatars. Now I am giving my thankful to my grandma to give me a good health to stand before you. We all know that for getting an employment to have an age of minimum 18. I started my career at the age of 11 years old. Yes, during my school annual leave, I was forced to place in a MNC jewelry in Trichy as a customer service manager. As a customer service manager, my job was to offer tea, coffee, snacks to the customers who were stepped into the shop. At the same time, I could see the board in the jewelry shop. We don't have child labor. This is what all about my first avatar. This avatar get continued till my 11th standard. Then I decided to become a doctor. You may all surprised. Yes, I didn't study MBBS. I became a doctor. During my regular school days, I joined with pharmacy shop as a salesman. I was prescribing the medicine for cough, cold, fever. I treated many persons over the counter. Later, I understood that how it was a dangerous. Then I started my first company in the name of Sunsoft. It was not a competitor to Microsoft. Basically, I had tied up with all the elementary schools for providing computer education for all the students. Somehow I did well. Due to a lack of exposure in business and mistakes, I forced to get into employment. 2004 to 2014, I served as an employee in many organizations. I am very thankful now for these companies providing an excellent opportunities and gave me a learning exposure. During this period was very golden period to me. I was married. I have children. I have a house, and everything goes fine. Somehow I felt I was on the wrong track. 2016, I decided to quit employment. I started my own business in the name of Rich Capital. Definitely this time I'm going to be a competitor for Reliance Capital. And also I became a technopreneur in 2018. I've tied up with an Italian-based company for providing water metering solutions. 2015, I joined Toastmaster with the Chennai Toastmaster Club. Within 4 years, I created one major bilingual club in India called Tamil Literature. For this creating Tamil Literature Club, my sincere thanks to DTM Nina John and Abraham Zach for providing me these opportunities. So dear friends, life's the game. To win a life, we need a strategy. Thanks for giving opportunities. Over to Toastmaster of the day. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Murugesan. That was a fabulous icebreaker. Now we move on to the second speech. The second speaker for today is Toastmaster Geeta. She's an active and energetic Toastmaster. She's a homemaker. And when I asked her what she does when she's stressed out, she said books are her best friends and reading relieves all her stress off. Before I hand over the stage to Toastmaster Toastmaster Geeta, let me call upon our evaluator, Toastmaster Rekha. Over to you, Rekha ma'am.
Yeah, good evening all. I'm the evaluator for Toastmaster Geeta. Her project objective is the purpose of the speech is the member to demonstrate that he or she has applied the feedback she has received from her first speech. I wish all the best to Toastmaster Geeta, and over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rekha. Over to you, Toastmaster Geeta. Thought-provoking speech. Thought-provoking speech, Toastmaster Geeta.
A small correction, Aishwarya. It is value, embrace people in our lives. The title is Embrace People in Our Lives.
I'm sorry.
So I'll start right away. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. We all have people in our lives who challenge us personally and professionally. These people can be unruly critical, bring drama into every situation, act as though they know absolutely everything, or they can even take credit for your work and achievements. Sounds familiar? Let me narrate you a small incident that happened with me a few years ago. I had accepted to handle a bulletin as the editor of the bulletin in an organization. So I compiled the photos, coordinated with the printer, I compiled the articles and even collected the advertisements. However, when the first proof was ready, or when the final proof I can say was ready, the person who was supposed to help me as a co-editor, she blamed on me saying that I kept her out of the editorial. But the truth was, she kept herself away from the editorial and she only wanted to take credit of my work. I'm sorry, I got a notification that the host muted me, so I'm just unmuting myself and again speaking. So this person, she just wanted to take credit of my work. My emotional quotient being so low that, I got very angry towards her behavior and attitude, and I plunged into the angry sea. I got stuck into the pool of whirlwind of negativity and reacted negatively to her actions and behavior, and in turn received a similar response from her. This in turn led to more bitterness. So did I treat the co-editor correctly? As you think of answering my question, let me narrate you a short story. A bus full of passengers was traveling. Suddenly, the weather changed. There was heavy downpour and lightning. All could see the lightning was coming towards the bus, appearing to come towards the bus, and then it used to go somewhere else. After 2 or 3 such instances, the driver of the bus stopped the bus and said, "There is someone in this bus whose death is certain today. Because of that person, we all will die." So he said, "I want each one of you to take turns, get down the bus and touch the tree which is 50 feet away from the bus and come back. Whosoever the death is certain will get hit by the lightning, and in this way the others will be saved." They had to force the first passenger to get down and touch the tree. This first passenger reluctantly got down and went up to the tree and touched the tree. His heart leaped with joy when he realized that nothing happened to him, and he rushed back to the bus. This continued with all but last of the passengers. And then when it was the turn of the last passenger to touch the tree, everybody looked at him with accusing eyes. So this passenger was also afraid, and with fear of death in his eyes, he walked up to the tree reluctantly and touched the tree. Suddenly, there was a loud thunder and the lightning struck the bus. Yes, the lightning struck the bus and killed each and every passenger present in the bus. Dear Toastmasters and guests, similarly in this journey of life, we all tend to forget that we are surrounded by the people who are protecting us and saving us, like the passenger of the bus who was saving and protecting all of them. We always try to take credit for our own achievements. But if we look around ourselves, we will see the people who are supporting us and blessing us from all the bad that is happening to us. We will see them in the form of our teachers, our siblings, our friends, and our relatives. So it is time for us to value and acknowledge their presence in life. Now I come back to my question, did I treat the co-editor correctly? The following year, I was again asked to take over as the editor of the bulletin. And that time, I realized that I was not very anxious. In fact, I was very confident. And I realized that this co-editor had indirectly helped me learn a new skill. So my reaction towards her changed. I started showering her with kindness and love. And in turn, I received the same response from her. Today, we are very good friends. So the learning that I have got from this is that the people who challenge us personally and professionally are the people who stimulate our growth, and they teach us something about ourselves. They teach us about patience and setting up boundaries. So these are the people who are the wind beneath our wings. They help us and stimulate our growth, and they stretch us, they test us, and they stretch our patience to an extent that all of which, if we react with patience, tolerance, and kindness, will definitely make us a better person. So dear fellow Toastmasters and guests, in life, we are surrounded with people who are blessing us and protecting us from all the bad that could possibly happen to us. So let us value, embrace, and value such people in our lives. At the same time, we also have people around us who are always a challenge to us, who challenge us personally and professionally. So let us embrace those people also and treat them with kindness and tolerance and shower them with gratitude, because they are the people who are helping us to be a better version of ourselves. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Geeta. That was a wonderful speech touching upon the reality aspects. The last speaker for today is a veteran Toastmaster, Srikanth Kuttikrishnan. He has been working with the Southern Railways for the last 30 years. When I asked him what he does to cope up with stress, he said he meditates and he practices the attitude of gratitude. Before I call upon Srikanth Kuttikrishnan sir, let me call upon his evaluator, Toastmaster Venu, to read out his project objectives.
Good evening, one and all. And Toastmaster Srikanth Kuttikrishnan is going to deliver the project from the Advanced Communication branch, from the Manual Professional Speaker, and his project objectives are tell a sales audience how to sell a product by using planned presentation, to inform a sales training audience about the human experience of the buyer-seller relationships, and use entertaining stories and dynamic examples and sales situations, and inspire the salesperson to want to succeed in selling. Timer, please note that time is 8 to 10 minutes. All the best, Srikanth.
Thank you, Toastmaster Venu. Toastmaster Srikanth, selling during pandemic. Selling during pandemic, Toastmaster Srikanth, over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Abhirami. Good afternoon, everybody. I really appreciate the time that you have taken to listen to me in the sales training program, where I have to share with you some of the tips that is required, especially during these uncertain times and when we are not very sure how things are going to manifest in the future, especially during a lockdown period and when pandemic is looming so large around us. Selling your product is a very vital service that we need to give to a customer. Before I talk about how we sell during a pandemic situation, let me share with you a couple of tips that a good salesperson, a person who is involved in marketing, requires to have. Irrespective of the situation, these are the three fundamental or the pillars that a salesman needs to have. The first one, the first and the foremost and the most important one is selling is 90% conviction and 10% communication of your conviction. What does that really mean? When we are selling a product or a service, it is not very vital that your communication skill has to be at the best possible level. No, your conviction, your commitment, your belief in the product or the service that you're going to sell to your customer is more important. It is that conviction which transform your prospect into signing up the dotted line for a service or for a product. So it is 10% conviction and 90% is communication. 90% is conviction and 10% communication of your conviction. So the second point is you need to connect with the customer's goals or problems. What does that really mean? A customer who is listening to you sell a product or a service has so many issues in his mind. He might be convinced about what you're selling, but not really he has the means or he has the resources to buy what you're selling or the services that you're giving. Let me quote an example for you. If you are in a real estate business and you're selling an apartment or a piece of land to a customer, he knows that he needs a roof over his head and he needs a piece of land to build a house for him. But how is he going to manage that? He's not having the funds. So there is a problem for the customer. He's not having money to buy that. So you step in there and you arrange a finance company where it can loan money for him to buy that piece of land or that apartment. So it is not just the selling of the product, you also become a solution for the problems or the goals that the customer is facing. It is very important. So you have to be more enthusiastic in solving his problem. And once he knows that he is not having a problem of buying what he wants or what is desirable about, then he is interested in going for what you're selling. So that relationship has to be built. It is very important that you have to go through this step also. Then the third and the most important aspect for any salesman is the law of increasing return. Let me repeat, the law of increasing return. The law of increasing return literally means as a marketer, it is not that the profit or the commission or the money that you make out from what you are selling to him. It is not that, because a customer is going to be satisfied if you're going to give him more value-added service. If you're going to give him more support once he buys your product or once he's interested in buying, that enthusiasm, that conviction, that interest that you show to him towards buying his product is not just going to stop with that, it is going to go beyond. So you need to give more. You need to give more to the customer than what he gets in return. One good example for this is, let me share a story about this pizza advertisements which keep coming very often. When pizzas were introduced in India, there were a lot of multinational companies coming in. But there was one Indian company who could beat the race of pizza. Because most pizzas, when they were selling in India, it was just hot and piping pizza for 100 rupees, 120 rupees. The competition was tough. Money was being spent for advertisement. But one Indian company, it's called the Jubilant Foodworks, or they are the franchisee for the Domino's Pizza. They came up with an interesting idea saying that we deliver our pizza in less than 30 minutes or your money is returned. Less than 30 minutes and the money is returned. There is value added service. And today, Domino's Pizza is the major market shareholder in pizza industry. So these are the things that you need to have in mind as a good marketer or a salesperson. Now, let's have a paradigm shift towards the pandemic selling. So in these uncertain times, how do we go about doing a pandemic selling? So what is that you have to do to convince your customer that you're giving him value for his money? The first and foremost thing that you need to do is you need to keep in communication with your customer. You need to have direct link communication. You might be working from a remote place, but still you need to keep in touch with them. You need to find out from the customer how he is doing during this uncertain time. He might be in a lockdown period. He might be social isolation. He might be keeping himself away, but that does not stop you from being a good human being and communicating to him. You have to speak to him. And once you get that confidence, once he gains that confidence that you are there, you're communicating with them, then you start selling your product. You have to keep the channel of communication open all throughout this time of this pandemic. Communication is very important because those customers can be isolated in their home. They might be staying alone. They won't have people to talk to them. But when you speak to them, it really opens up for them and you can make a sale very easily. See, you have to be very sentimental. You have to touch that emotional quotient. Rather, the quotient of life has to be there when you speak to the customer. So the second important thing is you have to re-establish your way of marketing. So we are not going to have a physical marketing henceforth. At least for the next foreseeable future, we are not going to meet the customer in person. So how do you go about marketing your product? It is through the media. You have the print media, you have the electronic media, you have all kinds of social media available for you. And as a salesperson, you should never cut your cost on advertising. Because most of the companies, what they do is, because of their sales coming down, they reduce the cost of their advertisement. But as a shrewd salesperson, please do not cut corners with your advertisement budget. It is very important. You have to spend on budget so that you get a leverage, you get a head start among other competitors, and you're able to market your product. Never decrease your budget on your advertisement. And also you have to be sprightliness. You have to be enthusiastic in your advertisement. You have to convey that emotion that the product that is being given to them, irrespective of the situation that is surrounding each one of us, is the best. That conviction is there. Because right throughout my training, what I have been insisting is you have to be very convinced about what you sell. Because that is very important. Please have that word in your mind. Conviction is always very important. Whatever is the strategy you adopt, you have to show that. In spite of sharing all these tips, every tip that I shared with you needs that element of conviction in your advertisement or the way you communicate. Everything should be there. And that really opens up the mind of your customer. And the last thing is, you have to prioritize your mental attitude towards selling. See, it is very important. This is not for the customer base, but it is for the person who is selling the product. See, usually what happens is, let me share something with you. Most of the trainings where I've done sales, I've seen these people coming up with the situations where they are out there in the field and they're selling their product. But when they're physically out selling the product, their mind is at home. They think about their home, what's happening back home, what's my children doing, or what's my spouse doing. So they're physically present, but mentally absent. Your sale doesn't happen like that. When you are there selling, when you are there, your mind, your mental attitude should be totally focused on that. And for most of the other people, when they get back home, they think about the sale. So they are not able to spend the time with your family as they keep thinking about what they have done wrong in their sales or why the sale has not happened. So this mind shift has to change. You should be totally focused. You should concentrate. See, when you concentrate, you are transmitting that energy. The customer who is listening to you or hearing you will be able to understand you really mean to sell something to him. So that is very important. So I've shared almost what are required in a pandemic situation. You need to have communication with them. You need to restructure your advertising strategy without giving up on your advertising budget. And you need to have a mental strength that you are convinced and you are committed to what you're selling. With these tips, I'm sure, and with the time constraint, I'm sure you can make a huge difference irrespective of the situation that we are facing in. Thank you very much. If you have any doubts, you can always get back to me offline. I'll be more than happy to help you out. Thank you once again very much. Stay home, stay safe, and be blessed. Thank you, and over to you, Abhirami.
Thank you, Toastmaster Srikanth. That was a classic sales training speech. Now let's take a look at the next quotient for life. Have you ever wondered why certain people bounce back when they have a hard situation in life? They bounce back so quickly. Life is not easy. You'll have ups, downs, and a lot of roller coaster rides. But some of them are persistent enough, how many ever times they are hit down, they still stand up and start again until they reach what they want to in life. We know stories of Einstein and Thomas Alva Edison where he tried 1,000 times to invent the bulb and he failed at it miserably. And also the case of Einstein where he was thrown out of school, but still he was a person who found all those great theorems. So what is that makes them successful? What is that makes them so full of persistence and motivation? So the quotient behind persistence is adversity quotient. Let me quickly share my screen. Sorry. Yeah. Adversity quotient is a measure of a person's ability to deal with adversities in life. Now, higher the adversity quotient, higher the ability to deal with adversities. With that, let's move on to the next session, which is the table topic session. And this session will test your adversity quotient. We have the table topic master, Toastmaster Gautam. He is an active Toastmaster. When I asked him what is the important quality that one should have to overcome adversities in life, he said consistency is the key to overcome adversities in life. With that, let me hand over the session to Toastmaster Gautam. Over to you, Toastmaster Gautam.
Yes, thank you, Toastmaster Abhirami, for that wonderful introduction. So, good evening, Toastmasters and guests on this wonderful Sunday. So, today I am the DT Master of the day, and I will be sharing the topics with you. So, each participant will be having 1 to 2 minutes, where the minimum eligibility for voting is 1 minute. So today, first TT speaker is going to be distinguished Toastmaster Dina John. Ma'am, can you unmute yourselves? Yes, ma'am. So, have you ever felt low in your Toastmasters journey?
Have I ever felt?
Low in Toastmasters journey.
Have I ever felt low?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Practically every other time. Toastmaster today, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Being a Toastmaster is an absolute roller coaster ride. You have so many things that take you high up in the air, and there are some things that bring you right down to the ground. Both Zach and I can tell you, whenever there's someone says, oh, DTM and all, we are like, we earned our DTM through blood, sweat, and tears. We had so much. We had a lot of fun. We had a lot of learning. There are times when we wondered, what on earth are we doing? Why are we here? What are we going to do? What's going to happen? CTM itself, when we started, there were days when we had 3 and 4 people at meetings. And we were like, will we ever get enough people to form a club? When we started the club and it started going, again, we'd have people coming, going, disappearing, all kinds of activities happening. And then suddenly something would happen, like maybe there was an event or one of our members would do something that was really great. Suddenly the sprightliness is back in our lives. We'd say, okay, this can be done. And the great thing about Toastmasters is that there's so much joy in watching the transformation that people experience. We see people who come with absolutely no knowledge of English or absolutely petrified to speak in public. And within about 6 months, they've started taking up roles. You look at them 6 years later and they're bright, confident, dynamic speakers. And they can give you so much joy in life. So yes, there are times when you feel low, but I think there are many more highs that more than compensate for it. So yes, highs and lows, all part of Toastmasters life. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Yes, thank you, ma'am. That was a wonderful speech from you. Yeah. And like I said to Toastmaster of the day, like whatever we do, in order to success, consistency is the only key. Now there was a quote by Dale Carnegie. When dealing with people, remember you are not dealing with creatures of logic, but with creatures of emotion. Now I would like to call Toastmaster Kartika. Toastmaster Kartika. Toastmaster Kartika, can you unmute yourself?
Gautam, you can move on if.
Yes. So Toastmaster Jimmy.
Yes, Toastmaster Gautam.
I hope that you have heard the quote which I said. When dealing with people, remember you are not dealing with creatures of logic, but with creatures of emotion. So can you give me a situation where you took some foolish decisions based on your emotions?
Come once again, there was a lot of disturbance.
Yeah. Can you give me a situation where you took some foolish decisions because of your emotion?
Because of emotion. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, TT Master.
Yes.
So, in this, in so many years of experience, I'm 37 now. So there has been a lot of trial and errors done in various aspects of life. So anything which we are new to, definitely there will be wrong decisions. There will be a lot of emotional decisions. So let me take it a professional front. I'm in sales. I do marketing. So there were a lot of time where we get frustrated and we take emotional decisions. Be it in team management, I have felt many times after a meeting, after a review meeting, that what I did was wrong. I should not have been emotional to a new person who have joined into my team, because I was expecting myself in him, which is a very wrong thing. So I, as a senior person, I was supposed to analyze what he is good at and motivate him. Instead, I expected myself in him, and he was not able to deliver it. That doesn't mean that he is not capable of doing a job, which I realized later. So luckily, I had an opportunity to do the trial and error. So eventually, he shaped up to be a good professional, which I'm also very proud of. And yeah, that's all I can think about. Thank you, TD Master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jimmy. Like whenever I get to used to get more emotion, like in anger, or like I used to break the remote of the TV. Likewise, I have broken around 10 to 15 remotes till now. So now the third topic is for so am I audible?
Yes, Gautam, you're audible.
Okay. Yes. Now the third speaker is going to be Toastmaster Lakshmi Narayanan. So Toastmaster Lakshmi Narayanan. Yes. So again, there is a quote. Always trust your gut, as they never lie the way people do. Have you taken any decisions based on your solely on your gut instinct? XP Narayanan, you have, please unmute.
So could you just try removing your headphones and talking?
Okay, sir, you can have something in wrong. I'll move on to the next person. So next is going to be a debate kind of topic. So for that, I need Toastmaster Ranju and Toastmaster Gubairappan. Toastmaster Ranju and Toastmaster Gubairappan. So Toastmaster Gubairappan.
Yes.
So which one should we have the most? That is IQ or EQ. So Toastmaster Ranju, you will be speaking on IQ, and Toastmaster that is intelligent quotients, and Toastmaster Guruvairappan on emotional quotients. Like which one should we, which aspect should we have the most in order to get success in life?
So Gautam, is it like first I'll speak on both the topics and then pass on? Like,
no, you have to speak on behalf of IQ, okay. And Toastmaster Guruvairappan will speak on EQ, emotional quotient.
Got it.
Yeah.
So thank you, Gautam, for giving the opportunity. IQ versus EQ. Now we have got a lot of information from our T-Mod also today with respect to all the quotients in our lives. So the option that I've got today to speak on is related to intelligence quotient. So I believe that IQ is one of the most essential thing which any person has to have in order to have a very smooth life. So whatever it is, even though not in your business, in your daily life also, when you're making a lot of choices. So we cannot live without making choices. And whenever we make choices, we make choices based on reason. And we use our reasoning ability. Now, how the reasoning ability comes is by different logics that come. So what are the different logics that you use for your reasoning ability? It may not be like very advanced logics which we use to make a business problem. It may be very a simple thing. You have to choose a laptop in your daily life. You have to choose a laptop between a professional laptop versus student laptop and the price. So you take a call based on what are the requirements and what is the price which is going to each of these. So intelligence quotient is one of the most important aspect in our lives. Same time, I would say that emotional quotient is something which is really essential in our modern world as well. So intelligence quotient was considered as one of the most essential in our previous times, but now EQ has also come up. Now EQ and IQ, how we can balance and move together is the way forward in our lives. So that is what I have to talk about these points. Thank you.
Table topic master of the day, and very good evening to all Toastmasters and guests. My topic is to talk about EQ, emotional quotient. Sometimes we take decisions based on emotions. Sometimes it may work in our favor or it may not work in our favor. But it is always best to take a choice of our own. If we go for emotional quotient or emotional based decision, then always stick to that. Once I like to share one such incident from my personal life. Actually, I was working in a company called Lucas Indian Service. Actually, I was deputed to Mumbai for a while and forced to stay in a for low area, so which I don't like. So I moved on to some other place for which the company has rejected my decision to move place, moving out of their proposed place to place of my choice. So on that basis, instead of thinking intelligent wise, based on emotions, I quit the job and I left the company. But within 1 week, entire project itself got stopped. And then I thought my emotion decision has won, but actually emotion decision has not won. Then I remained jobless for another couple of months before I landed into an IT company. So I think sometimes your EQ emotion-based decision also work in your favor, or it will not work in your favor. But it is always better to stick with your decision. Thank you. Over to you, TT Master.
Yes. Thank you, Toastmaster Ranju, as well as the Toastmaster Guruvairappan. Like in nowadays, we have to gain IQ, that is as much as knowledge as possible, as well as we have to be emotionally strong in order to make decisions so that we don't commit any mistake. So now I call guest Dharani.
Yeah.
Yes, Dharani. So now to our Toastmaster of the day has spoke about creative quotient.
Yeah.
So how creative are you?
Taking creativity into consideration, I'm not that creative, but I always love to be creative. So I learn from the people who are creative. For example, let's take for example, I'm drafting a speech. I draft it in a very narrow way without adding any quotes or anything. I just merely simply draft it. So whenever I give it to a person to read it and just for a check, he or she will suggest me some changes where I can make the speech more creative. So that is how I learned to be creative, and this has been started from way back from 7th. So from there till now, all those implements all those improvements what people have thought, like if you add this quote over here, if you draft the speech in this way, it will be more creative and audience will get to listen to you. So that is how I develop my creativity. And second thing, whenever I draft an argument now after getting into law, I don't really I start thinking about where and what to add to attract people's attention. It is not just merely the knowledge of law you have, but also the way you argue, the smart answers you do. So that is how I get into creativity, like to draft an argument more than not being creative, being smart. That is how creativity works with me, and for the field I am in, like that, and that is how I get to convince people. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Toastmaster. Guest Dharani. That was a wonderful insight on creative. According to me, creative is one aspect that develops by consistent practice. Like when I started my Toastmasters journey, I was I wrote my speech like an essay and I delivered it. And as my project went on, I got some new ideas. That is how creativity is developed. So next speaker, I would like to call Toastmaster Nanda.
Yes, Gautam.
So Toastmaster Nanda, do you think that that we should really have a purpose in life? That we need to have a purpose in life. Is it necessary to have a purpose in our life?
A purpose or focus?
Purpose.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sprightly topic. Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. Do we need to have a purpose in life? So what is it? This leads to your primordial question of existence, where why do we come to this world? What do we want to attain in this world? And what is the purpose of life? So what differentiates human beings from all other living beings is that the ability to create something, ability to think something, and ability to act accordingly to what we think. So this means we are the only creatures on the entire planet who can think independently and do something creatively out of the thinking. Now, with this thinking, what we do is debatable. So we can make use of the thinking to make something, make this world a better place, or make ourselves a better people, or serve the community, or serve the entire world, or something like that. But then what makes us to think in the right direction or to do something more relevant is the strong purpose we have in our life. Each one of us, we call it as mission, vision, goal, etc. But ultimately, it's all blanketed a single name called purpose. It is the only purpose which drives us to do something which is more inventive, more creative, and more focused. Without any purpose, if you do something, you will start something and work on it and then get diverted to some other things and then you will end up nowhere. So I firmly believe that having a purpose, a single purpose or a goal or mission is what drives each and every human being in this world. And that is the only thing which can make us to make something which is truly creative, which is of use to people in the world. Thank you. What was it, Master?
Yes, thank you, Toastmaster Nanda. That was again a wonderful insight on purpose of life. And still, I am searching for my purpose, like what I'm going to do. So, any guest volunteers who wish to speak at DD?
Yeah, why not?
Yes, sir. Your name?
Name is Gautam.
So, Gautam, I'm repeating the question again. Like, have you took any decision solely on your gut instinct?
Yeah, based on my gut instinct.
Yes.
Of course, I'm not a person who is very much used to taking decisions. I always consult others for my decisions. So I can narrate an instant where I, yeah. I heard a voice. Yeah, I can narrate an instant where I took a decision based on my gut instinct, which is I was in my college and I was writing my exams and I was writing, I had backlogs. So I had 2 exams happening exactly at one day. So I couldn't, I had no other hope that I would crack both the exams. But besides that, I had a gut feeling that I can crack the exam in some way by which I can do that. So I just sat down and prepared for a long time, and the result was quite fortunate, and I cracked both the papers. It was my gut feeling which led me to do that, because without the gut feeling, that decision would have seemed impractical for me. And since I told before that I'm not a person who is very much used to taking decision, I always consult people in order to take decision. Whatever the decision is, for either for a small thing or even for my career, I used to consult people in order to take decision in my shoes. So I think that narration of my gut feeling is a good example. That's it. Should I stop? I saw the LS screen.
Yeah. Yes. Yes, Gautam. Thank you for that inspiring story of you. Yes. So last week, like we had so many results that we published, like 12th results, 10th results, and all. So after completing my 12th standard, I had a gut feeling that I wanted to work in an automobile industry. Likewise, I chose mechanical engineering and finally went into an automobile industry. So whatever you feel that your instincts tells you, you can follow that blindly and that decision won't end in vain. So now I would like to call Toastmaster Puneet.
Yeah, TT Master Gautam. Can you repeat the topic?
Yes. Who am I? Who am I? This is your topic, and you should not speak on your educational background, profession, your hobbies. Who am I?
You have put me in a tight spot, but still I'll take it on with heads on. And having said that, I remember a very beautiful quote by George Bernard Shaw, who said, life is not about finding yourself, it's about creating. And I think all of us are in like masterpiece in progress. In fact, if to answer this question, who am I? I think that's a work in progress. You see, we are all masterpiece. We are all eighth wonders of the world. It's just that we are taking our own time to come out stronger. And right now I'm at age of 25. I don't have any massive success to show also. And having said that, I mean, at this point of time, we are all working towards our goal. And as one of your topic rightly pointed out, what is the importance of purpose? I'm on that journey right now, finding my purpose. Who am I? And I must say, I've got some little bit of guidelines in that process. Let me take back to a year when once I got shifted from my customer care division to an R&D. And don't worry, I'm not going to touch on the professional aspect of it. One of the senior person in Mahindra, he has worked more than 40 plus years in Kerala. He said this beautiful quote, and life is, let me recollect. You live for others. That is how life he defined. When I asked him, so what is your purpose of life? And he said that I want to live for others. And at the age of 60, this person is still going gym, is still fit. Every day he commutes by cycle and is fit as strong as any 20-year-old person. Now, who am I is definitely one such cue I got from that person, that it's about serving others. That's where when voluntary organization like Toastmasters comes into picture. In fact, I remember this beautiful quote which I read in one of the books, that it's very hard for a person to make themselves low when they are providing value to the others. In other words, when you're serving people, your self-image naturally increases. Who am I? Well, I am that masterpiece in progress. After all, a wise man once said, to become a masterpiece, you have to master all the pieces. And I am that masterpiece in progress. And last but not the least, let me sum it up by this one line. You see, the bigger your struggle, the bigger will be your success. And who am I? Well, that's masterpiece in progress. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Puneet. And this who am I? This question everyone should have, and this is what we create in others' life, like how we develop others. Meanwhile, developing ourselves. So next topic is for Toastmaster Karthik.
Hi Gautam. I hope I'm audible and not visible.
Yes. So Karthik, you are coming after so much. You are coming to this meeting after a long time.
Yeah.
So I would like to ask you one question. Like, till now, so many people had left from your life. So how did you deal with that situation? Like when they left, how did you deal that emotions?
Yeah, sprightly evening to Toastmasters and guests. Since my childhood days, I have seen many people in my life, in my school days, college life, and even in Toastmasters. And in my, I'm working in a company and also whenever I left one place to another place, it's feel like emotion. I don't think when I was studying in my school, I did not think about this, but when I was in my college, I was thinking too much problems. My close friends, they went to abroad for their studies, and when they came back from the abroads, I I'm so glad to see them, and it's like emotion. I think many of us would have experienced it before in our life. And it's an emotion. It's always taught us to how to handle the life. And the people I have met, the people I learned from them, And there are a lot of things I would say it's an emotion which will bring us to the better position. That's what I feel, Gautam. Over to you.
Unmute yourself.
Yes, sorry. So with that, we are coming to the end of the table topic session. Now I would like to call timer. Can you please read out the speakers who are eligible for voting?
All the speakers are qualified for voting. So I'll read out the names. DTM Nina John ma'am, Toastmaster Jimmy, Toastmaster Anju, Toastmaster Guruvairappan, guest Dharini, Toastmaster Nanda, guest Gautam, Toastmaster Puneet, and Toastmaster Karthik. So all the TT speakers are eligible for voting.
Yes, thank you, Toastmaster Aishwarya, for this. And I would like to hand over the session to the TM Modi Toastmaster Abhiray. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Gautam. Through all your table topics, you have dissected all the questions left, right, and center. Now that makes it easy for me to move on to the next quotient. The next quotient is more or less relating to all those big questions that Gautam had asked in the TT session. Who are you? And what happens in your life beyond death? And do you have a purpose in life? So do you all think of these questions? These are all something related to, I would say, a certain aspect of our life. So when you break us into components, we may be the body, mind, and the soul. We all know how to handle our body and mind in terms of the exercises that we do, the physical exercises, or the word games that we play to exercise our mind. But what do we do for our soul? So there is something beyond our thinking capability. Let me share my screen. Yeah. So this is the spiritual quotient. Spiritual quotient is a measure of a person's ability to ask most fundamental and basic questions in life and seek answers. So when you have a very good spiritual quotient, you have a bigger picture of life. And why do you need that? Today, you might be in the age group of 20 to 30, and there may be a time where you will be 60 years or 70 years. There is various stages in life. But when you have a forward-looking thought process, you will be able to redefine your priorities to align to what you really want in life, to align with what really matters in life. With all these open questions, let us move on to the next segment, which is the evaluation segment. Over to you, General Evaluator, Toastmaster Jagadish.
Thank you, TM Modi. Let's try to invite speech evaluators for the day. To evaluate Toastmaster Parthiban's speech, I would like to invite Toastmaster Satish Babu. Toastmaster Satish Babu is a banking professional. He is also an energetic entrepreneur. Toastmaster Satish Babu, screen is yours.
There are three types of speakers in a public speech. Number one, there are some speaker speaks from the mind that we can now forget them. And number two, some speakers speak from the experiences that we can connect with them emotionally. There are some speakers speak from the art that will change our life. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmaster and dear guest. And my special good afternoon to my target speaker, Toastmaster Murugesan. Toastmaster Murugesan, here is my evaluation report. Starting, number one, commentation point. You started your speech with a different variety of avatar, especially different kind of avatar. Everyone play in our own life and day-to-day life. So the different kind of avatar, you started with the introduction point. It was really good. You grabbed the attention in your introduction. Kudos to you for that. Number two, content of your speech. Especially when you're sharing your family members, like more especially on your mother and grandmother. When you share about your grandmother, because of her, you're standing here as in a healthy. This point, everyone will connect with their grandmother. Most of our childhood life, more than our mother, we will all grown up with our grandmother only. So your content is very good and it connect to the audience. Kudos to you for that. And number three, in your conclusion point, I really appreciate your conclusion point because it was really motivated to all the audience. I will tell you why. Most of the icebreaker speaker will share what is their dream. Like, I want to become a doctor or I want to become a lawyer. But in your speech, you have mentioned that you started your own business. You have made some mistake because of you closed your business. You went for a job. Again, you start for the new business in your dream. Here you shared a clear picture of your successful story. It was really motivated to all the audience and unique way of conclusion point. I can tell you that. And my recommendation point. This icebreaker speech will not ask for the more thing in our speaker because it's a beginning as a public speaker. But I must tell you that recommendation point 1 here is your voice modulation. You could add your voice modulation wisely because you have shared the different variety of avatar in your life, especially from starting as a salesman and your personal life and business. You could have a multiple role as a play as an avatar, but you have not done that. Toastmaster Murugesan, when you're sharing a good story, it will reach to the audience. When you're sharing the good story emotionally, it will connect with the audience. So overall, your speech was really good and wonderful. As I mentioned as a commendation point, introduction was good and connection with the audience was good and conclusion point is good. Only work on the voice modulation, your speech will be very excellent. I believe you will become a better public speaker in future. As I mentioned previously, your speech, the speaker speak from the heart that will change our life. Your speech changed my life. Over to you, Toastmaster Jagadish.
Thank you, Toastmaster Satish Babu. And extremely sorry, Toastmaster Murugesan, have wrongly pronounced your name. To evaluate next speaker, to evaluate Toastmaster Geeta's speech, I would like to invite Toastmaster Rekha. I believe Toastmaster Rekha is an entrepreneur because she's yet to reply for my text, which I sent yesterday. I think she joined back CTM last month and immediately took the role of secretary. Toastmaster Rekha, screen is yours.
Yeah, thank you very much, General Evaluator. Your belief is true. I'm an entrepreneur. So coming back to the Toastmaster Geeta, congratulations, Toastmaster Geeta, in completing your speech successfully. So this was indeed a very good speech and very good message to the audience who are running in the rat race world. Let me see what I like in your speech. To start with, the speech was very clear message and apt to the audience. And you did implement what was you did implement what feedback was given to you in the previous speech by bringing your personal story into the speech. I appreciate that. And what could have been improved? So one thing is, like, I felt the message was stronger, but if the opening could have been stronger, you would have hooked in the audience. You directly started with the message or your a personal story. Instead of that, you could have asked a question that there have been some ups and downs or some irritating moments or something like that, which you could have pulled the audience inside. And then is the description could have been little vivid. You said like you were given a project and you completed it successfully, and then your co-editor created a problem. You could have narrated how you felt, how happy you were, and then by an interruption, by this a problem created by the co-editor, how did you feel, your emotions, your pain, your irritation, and then connect to the audience saying that in your personal life or professional life also, you could have had such incidents where you would have felt low or irritated. Then we would have come into your story. We were more of an audience. We were not able to participate in your story. So the description could have been vivid. And then the conclusion again, yes, you said like how we can include others in our life, how we can appreciate their contribution. Everyone knows we have to do that, but somewhere there is a glitch where we couldn't bring that quality in us, right? So you could have said like, how did you overcome that? How you were able to appreciate your co-editor and giving us a more specific action item that how we can overcome our mindset and then appreciate and contribute others' contribution in our life. To conclude, like what I appreciated is the message was clear, the speech was clear, you did implement your previous feedback of bringing the personal story into your life. What could have improved is a stronger opening to hook the audience and a vivid description to make us feel for you, feel your pain, and a stronger conclusion than giving a generic action plan or call for action, more specific of how we can overcome. With this, the circle could be complete, and I wish all the best for your next speech. Thank you very much. To you. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rekha. To evaluate next speaker, Toastmaster Srikanth's speech, I would like to invite Toastmaster Venu. Toastmaster Venu works in Airport Authority of India. He is one of the efficient Toastmasters I have come across. He mentors more than 10 Toastmasters in CTM. Toastmaster Venu, screen is yours.
Thank you, Jagdish. Good evening, one and all, and special good evening to my target speaker. First of all, I want to thank Toastmaster Srikanth for having given this opportunity to evaluate an advanced communication bronze advanced level speech, because hereafter I don't know how long I can do that. Let's jump to the evaluation. The 10-minute speech was almost like a synopsis of Philip Kotler's book or any sales presentations. That's really awesome. You cover everything and you gave a very idea about the sales, how to make a good sales. And all the trademarks of Srikanth and an experienced speaker were there in your speech. Spontaneous flow, throwing speech, confidence. So now you are an advanced speaker, so you don't require much pats on your back. So let me directly jump into the improvement points. And you are talking about the conviction, 90% conviction, how to make this conviction. Some points I want to make here. That first thing, that rate of your speech. Your rate of speech is so high, and you were running, and you expected that your audience should chase you. Usually we don't. That's the reason. That's the main thing, because you didn't give time for your audience to digest what you fed. So please take care of your rate of speech. I understand that you have to cover everything within the 10-minute speech, but at least just take care of your audience also, because in the sales there is a saying that don't make customer for your product, make product for your customer. The same thing applicable for your speech also. Don't make audience for your speech, make a speech for your audience. That way you can take care of your that rate of speech. And next is voice modulation. It was so high. You are a motivational speaker, I know that, but to create that conviction, you need sometimes the voice modulation to create that punch that you can take care of. That's the second thing. And third one is eye contact. Throughout the world, I think nowadays they are saying that don't look at the screen, look at the camera. That's, you can do that. And another thing, you were here and there, you were looking, you were reading from the script. That could be avoided. Even we could see that the flipping over the pages, that you are an advanced speaker, we don't expect, because we need some credibility from you. That could be avoided as an experienced speaker. And the fourth one is, usually an evaluator's duty is not to evaluate about the content, but I'm an MBA graduate. Most of our audience are MBA. They knew what is sales. So most of the time you talked about generic terms of the MBA. You are a professional speaker, not an honest speaker now. It's this project is from the professional speaker manual. So we need something about the concept like targeting, segmentation. Without touching that, you can't give a speech on that topic. It's a sales, you know. So you can give some concept, some technically you can also talk and you can cover that. So it would be a professional speech. So overall, it's a very good speech, and you can also avoid that you have to every time monotonously we are saying that you can, if you happen to watch your recording, you can find that. So overall, it's a very good speech. If you are incorporating this suggestion, it would be a very good professional speech out to you. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Toastmaster Venu. And here I am with my final report. Before that, Timer, could you please read out the qualified evaluators?
The qualified evaluators are Toastmaster Satish Babu and Toastmaster Rekha.
Perfect. Thank you, Toastmaster Aishwarya. And I would like to introduce my tag team for the final report. Toastmaster Aishwarya, could you please read out the final report?
Let me share my screen. The screen visible?
Yes.
Great. So starting with the essay, Toastmaster Abhilash, he has taken 1 minute and 5 seconds. Presiding officer Toastmaster Guruvayurappan, he has taken a time limit of 2 minutes. Toastmaster Abhirami, when she was addressing the gathering, she took a time limit of 5 minutes and 40 seconds. The game session, the time limit was 6 to 7 minutes and the time taken was 7 minutes. The general evaluators address, Toastmaster Jagadish, she have taken a time limit of 5 minutes and 40 seconds. Moving on to the prepared speech session, Toastmaster Murugesan, he has taken a time limit of 6 minutes and 20 seconds. Toastmaster Geeta, she has taken a time limit of 6 minutes and 56 seconds. And Toastmaster Srikanth Kuthikrishnan, a time limit of 9 minutes and with this, all the prepared speakers are eligible for voting. Coming to the table topic session, DTM Neena ma'am, she has taken 1 minute and 57 seconds. Toastmaster Jimmy, 1 minute and 50 seconds. Toastmaster Ranju, 1 minute and 40 seconds. Toastmaster Guruvayurappan, 1 minute and 28 seconds, as this was like a debate sort of session. Yes, Dharini, 1 minute and 44 seconds. Toastmaster Nanda, 1 minute and 50 seconds. Yes, Gautam, 1 minute and 55 seconds. Toastmaster Puneet, 2 minutes and 16 seconds. And Toastmaster Karthik, 1 minute and 10 seconds. So here also all the speakers are qualified. Evaluation session, Toastmaster Satish Babu as the first evaluator, he has taken 3 minutes and 12 seconds. Toastmaster Rekha, 3 minutes and 5 seconds. And Toastmaster Venu, 3 minutes and 33 seconds. And with this, I conclude my report. Thank you, and over to the general evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Aishwarya. Next, I would like to invite Toastmaster Abhilash for his final report.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jagdish. Give me a moment, I'll just share my screen. Yes. So, good evening, dear fellow Toastmasters and guests. I'm here to present to you all the accountant's report. So I just thought of sharing this with you. This was a small meme which I came up. I'm hearing some static. Thank you. So, so this is the difference, a speech that is clear and a speech which has these fillers of ahs, buts, and so's can make. Everyone likes to hear a beautiful speech, and so with that, I will now move on to the accountant's report. So this report, I would like you to view it in this context. We all need to go out of our comfort zones to grow, and it is with this purpose alone that I am going to give you the report for today. Moving on. So in the first session, that is the opening session. But before that, I will take for a moment to congratulate the two people who were flawless. That is, their words did not have any ahs, buts, so's, or anything. Toastmaster Shubhashri conducting the game session and Toastmaster Jagdish conducting the general evaluation session. These two were perfect. So now moving on, as the presiding officer, Toastmaster Toastmaster Guru used 2 ahs. The Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Abhirami, had 3+ ahs, and as well as 3+ filler words. Moving on to the prepared speakers, Toastmaster Murugesan had 1 filler word and 1 abnormal pause. Toastmaster Geeta had 2+ ahs, some so's, and 1 filler word usage. Toastmaster Srikanth had 3+ ahs, some and so's, and 2 filler words. Moving on to the second session, which was the table topic session. In the table topic session, Toastmaster, all Toastmasters had 3+ ahs, some and so's. Apart from that, Toastmaster Gautam, he had 2 ahs and 2 filler words. The final session was the evaluation session, and we had 3 evaluators. Toastmaster, excuse me for the name. Give me a minute. Okay. Toastmaster Satish Babu had 3+ R, some source and 1 filler words. Toastmaster Rekha had 3+ R, some source and 3+ fillers. And Toastmaster Venu had 3+ R's and 2 filler words. So this thing is, as we go on and on, as we give our speeches, we fine tune ourselves and we reduce our errors. So that is the way forward for us all to reduce our R's, buts, so's and R's. And with this, I hand over the screen to Toastmaster Jagadish.
Thank you, Toastmaster Abhilash, for the detailed report. Next, I would like to invite Toastmaster Nagendra Bharati to read out Grammarian's report.
General Evaluator Toastmaster Jagadish. In the introduction, I told that I am waiting with a hook in the fishing rod to get the bunch of fish. A bunch of fish is called the school of fish. Instead of school of fish, I got college of fish today. Lot of good usage of English, phrases, figures of speech. Let me share with you only a few of the examples because I have only 2 minutes of time. Surgeon at Arms Toastmaster Abhilash started with well sanitized hands. That was very good. And then Toastmaster Guruvayurappan, the president, expertise and empathy. That was a good usage. And then T.M.O.D. Abhirami, lot of good usages, lot of phrases, lot of similes. I will share only a few. Education helps to start the race, but to run the marathon, we need IQ. Thinking out of the box. Creativity is the key to unlock the future. Books are our best friends. There are so many things. And then Toastmaster Subhashri, that game of synonyms is a game of beautiful words. Congrats. And then General Evaluator Jagadish, he compared the quotient of meeting with the two teams, tag team and evaluation team. Well, good. Toastmaster Murugesh, the speaker, he used cough, cold and fever. That is called climax in figure of speech. And then Toastmaster Geeta, bring drama to every situation. Whirlwind of negativity. Shower them with gratitude. Better version of ourselves. Lot of good usages. And then Toastmaster Srikanth, attitude of gratitude. 90% conviction and 10% communication. Paradigm shift from pandemic selling. Stay home, stay safe. Beautiful. And then the table topic, all the topics are very good usage of English. Table topic master, he used, people are not creating logic, creation of logic. They are all creation of emotions. Consistency to overcome adversity. Beautiful usage. Toastmaster DTM Nina John. Toastmaster is a roller coaster ride. Lot of sweat and tear, as usual. Then Toastmaster Puneet. Life is not about finding. It is about creating. Good. To become a masterpiece, you have to master all the pieces. Very good usage. And then Evaluator Satish, speak from your mind, speak from your experience, speak from your heart. This is called hypersoul in figure of speech. And then Rekha, your message was apt to the audience. Your emotional pain, your emotion, pain and irritation, that's climax in figure of speech. And then Venu, pats on your back, create the conviction. Lot of good usages. I am leaving many of them because of want of time. But about this usage of our theme of the day and our word of the day, I'm very sorry to say, other than me, only Toastmaster Srikanth used that word of the day. Maybe more Toastmasters could have been sprightly in using the word of the day. About the theme of the day, other than the TMOD, I could see only 3 people. Toastmaster Gautam, Toastmaster Ranjit, and Toastmaster Guruvayurappan use the theme of the day. So let us be more sprightly in future meetings in using the theme of the day and the word of the day. Thank you. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nagendra Bharati. That was a great report. So I'm here with my final report. So the meeting started exactly at 4 p.m. So kudos to the ExCom. So but before even the start of the meeting, another room was created just to evaluate whether all the role players has got good connectivity. So that worked really well because none of the role players faced any issue. And coming to the TMOD, so as I said, I was quite uncertain about the theme because I was thinking how this theme can get the audience attention. But it was a great attempt and very well done. Toastmaster Abhiramee was crisp with her presentation, and she succeeded in what she wanted to persuade. So coming to the prepared speeches, speakers did their job to the fullest, have enjoyed all the 3 speeches, icebreaker, evaluation, feedback, and then ACS speech. Job well done. Coming to the TT session, so TT Master Gautam did a great job. He selected the topics which was related to the theme. In total, there were 9 speakers, but I could see only 2 guests were invited. Since TT session is the only session we can invite guests to participate, so I feel the ratio should be at least 50-50. And track team was above the par today. Everyone presented their reports. It was great. And coming to the speech evaluations, so all these speech evaluators did their job, and they have used the sandwich technique. So I have a couple of commendations, couple of recommendation for Satish Babu. When you evaluated Murugesan speech, I was expecting this point, because Toastmaster Murugesan was not at all facing the camera throughout his speech. He was sitting like this. So I was expecting that point, but you did not highlight that. And coming to Toastmaster Srikanth's speech, Toastmaster Venu, when you evaluate in your recommendation, you did not highlight Srikanth, that he was looking down for several times. So as an audience, it was abnormal for me, because he was looking at something, and so you could have included that. So overall, it was a great meeting. So what can be improved? What could have improved? I have only one point. So obviously the technical glitches could have been avoided, I would say. For the audience out there, please make sure no one is at your home is overusing the broadband, because it may affect the bandwidth. So I have enjoyed the meeting. I'm eagerly waiting for the future meetings. Thank you. Over to you, TMOD.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jagadish. There was a very meaningful evaluation. Now, moving on to the last stage. Before that, let me request to launch the polls. Yeah. Kindly vote for the best prepared speaker. Okay. Meanwhile, wrapping up the last pieces of this session, all the quotients are important. It's not just one particular quotient. So emotional quotient, intelligence quotient, adversity quotient, any of the quotient, we need to do a self-evaluation to determine in which quotient we need to improve, and appropriately we'll have to work on each of the quotients. Not every quotient comes with the genes. They are to be consciously worked on and built.
Abhiramee, you carry on.
Okay, yeah. So the path ahead lies in striking a beautiful balance in life. When we look at the 4-step thinking process of the cycle, which is the observation, evaluation, decision making, and implementation, the quotients which affect the implementation aspects is the adversity and creativity quotient. So to be successful in life, we need to focus more on the adversity quotient, which seems to be playing a major role in the implementation aspects. But overall, take care of the beautiful balance. With that, I'll be handing over control to our president. Over to you, Toastmaster Guruvairappan. Sir, you're on mute.
Okay, sorry. Thank you, Abhirami, for conducting the meeting in an efficiently and effectively most effective way. So it's time, as regular custom of CTM, for any icebreaker or any milestone project, we used to give a standing ovation for the speaker. So I kindly request all of you to give a big round of applause for Venu Murugesan for completing his icebreaker speech. Now I need I request guests to give their feedback about today's meeting. Any guests? Yes, Ramesh Babu.
Yeah, good evening, sir. So actually, it is very wonderful, and the way they are evaluating how other people are speaking, and even the evaluators' evaluation was evaluated by others. So I think it is very. Yeah, 1 second, sir. Yeah, good evening, sir. So I think it is a very wonderful experience, and I think it will be very helpful for everybody to grow up in their career, because communication is considered as the leadership nowadays. So I think this is a very wonderful session, and it will be very useful for everybody. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Hi, sir.
Any more guests? Yeah.
Yeah, this is Shakti. Like I really enjoyed the meeting today, and I'm looking forward to be a part of this Chennai Toastmasters Club. Maybe I'll get in touch with Abhilash, right, later.
Maybe after meeting.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, sir.
Okay, welcome to CTM. Thank you, Shakti.
Thank you.
Any more guests? Okay. Now I have a couple of announcements to make before I declare results. Today VPE will send a mentor roster to. I request all the members to fill up the mentor details of the respective mentor's name in that Excel sheet. And then second announcement is we are going to follow round robin league for tag team and the jig team only. For other role players like prepared speakers, TMOD, TT master, general evaluator, general evaluator roles, we will maintain Excel sheet. Since all clubs are following round robin for tag team and jig team, so we are also decided to follow because of non-availability of new members. If new members join, then we can give a chance to them. So till then, round robin league will be followed to select the tag team and jig players. Now it's time for me to declare the result. So best role player for the day is Toastmaster Abhirami. Best tag team player is Nagendra Bar, the grammarian. Now comes the best evaluator is Toastmaster Rekha.
Yay.
Best table topic speaker is DTM Neena John ma'am.
Thank you.
Best speaker for the day is Madam Toastmaster Geeta Shroff.
Yay.
So congratulations to all the winners. I adjourn the meeting to next week. Now let's join for an informal meeting, informal gathering. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir.